You've calibrated that thing.
Still have to get reasonably close to it anyway, so no point. I'll just save that part for something else.
Anything interesting in range?
One thing's Stonewalker. For fuck's sake, fucking reload! The only thing is, we're on the main base, none of the resources are coming in.
got to be something useful out here.
I remember there being some sort of thing about mechs being illegal or something in the past. I was thinking instead of having like a vehicle to drive around in, instead of a vehicle, have a mech that you can customize. I'll make it so like there needs to be like more like outpost, NPC outposts, and maybe when you're using a mech and you get close to an outpost, you get like a bounty on you because it's illegal or something. Oh, sweet. Got that done. Good for that. Yep, heading back to my ship. Yeah, I really want to be able to build your own what's the name ship? But huge ship like that. Even making in space station would be cool and all that, but I'd rather make a huge spaceship that you can like fly around in, and like to land on a planet you have to take your own other ship. That'd be cool.
I have things for you.
I'm gonna do this mission. My ship needs a little bit more white, or yellow actually. I might do yellow.
Say your last goodbyes.
Achieving orbit now.
look at seeing to. I could get an upgrade through my reactor. I think that was in. I think it was on Titan, maybe? I'm also going to
Levels look good.
continue the
Suit
UC
integrity normal. Hope this
faction
place is
mission.
worth the trouble.
Can inspect your ship for heat leaks. Need some work done? Okay, no problem.
Yeah, there's a 29 reactor here, but there's a 31. If I get Starship Design Rank 2, I can get that one and duplicate it into what I need to do. I don't have the point now, god damn it. Well, I don't have enough anyway. Never mind then. I think I prefer the Hope Tech one, they just look a little bit better. More wider, look a little bit interesting. It's kind of funny how the the B class grav drive is better than C class, which is weird. Huh. Got new landing gear here. Huh. Haven't been here in ages actually. I need to get Starship Design. I think I'll do that next maybe. With engines, I kind of think you really want to look for mobility. I don't like the supernova. Makes my thing glitch out. Yeah, I don't need this. Where is my one anyway? I just got the first one. Yeah. Extra cargo is not really all that necessary. If it was like a massive difference, like 500 cargo, maybe. I really wish you could have multiple bridges. That'd be awesome. I was gonna make a cargo ship, but I'm not really sure anymore.
Sure.
I'm gonna upgrade this ship as well, but I'm not gonna use Class C, I wanna use Class A. That's the right one. Oh, I need to be able to actually use it to... Actually, maybe not. So I just need to get the grav drive and duplicate that into it. Select that, and then this, then duplicate. That's all. Did it work? Yes, it did. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make this into a small ship. I'm going to have to go back to my main base to do this. Another thing is there any turrets to the A class? I think all the turrets are B class and higher. Which means I'm gonna have to use a B class reactor on this. Yep, looks like it. I want this to be a small ship, so I can't use these big things. It has to be B class. Wait, did I grab an A class or B class reactor? A class. You know what, fuck, I don't need turrets on this. I have enough. I'll do this later.
Okay, no problem.
I'll do some faction missions. But I will use the other ship.
Anything I can help you with? Sure, how about it?
Ship's ready. Steady start.
Stay in orbit or jump.
Scanning complete. You're cleared to land.
Now you can see why UC Marines that get sent here consider this posting a punishment.
Just because the governor's office is right out there.
Look at this place. I can't imagine being cramped down here, choking on the fumes and the dust. No trees, no grass.
Is that really her? Adrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
The Red Devils aren't exactly your average bar crowd. You can see it in their eyes.
Lou gave me the abridged
We
version
don't
of what
belong
went
here.
down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble.
It was no walk in the park.
And I'm sorry about that. I'm just glad you both came through it intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us.
The Cabinet? What's that?
The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind.
What's the Armistice Archives, and what does it have to do with the Freestar Collective and House Varun?
Well, when the Colony War came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the Armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Varun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all three factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that.
Doesn't sound like any run-of-the-mill data you're after. I'll take that explanation now.
Of course. You deserve the full story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done.
Still doesn't explain what this Terramorph data is doing in the archives.
Well, it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying Terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the Cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it.
Why wouldn't the Cabinet agree to help us?
I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired. But getting the Freestar Collective and House Va'ruun on our side, that won't be easy.
Since neither group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons.
Exactly. It's going to mean negotiations and deals and plenty of diplomatic legwork to see this through. But I don't see a better option to solving what's going on here. So it's gonna be up to us to get them on board.
And why should I trust you with this data? How do I know it's not dangerous?
Because the Terramorph project was doomed from the start. Terramorphs are too mean, too smart, too hungry to be used in combat. Trust us, we tried. The data that's in the archives, it's historical write-ups, anatomical notation, food chain analyses. I doubt they would have even classified it if it didn't have a Xeno-warfare logo on it. You have my word. It's not a threat.
Okay, then let's go talk to this Cabinet.
All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the Cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Live where you work. Tired of commuting from distance.
A lot of credits just then. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get a Starship design right through. Just so I can do some duplications and things.
Lots of condominiums have premium apartments available.
Stoneway can have a depressing effect
Whether
on
you
some
need
people.
single, double, or family.
I wanna have a look at this mech facility. Yeah, I was actually thinking I could use some
Oh, I don't know. A few
weapons on my
trees
ship.
here and some grass there, and this place might not look so
My main
awful.
damage output's for my turrets, so if I put on 2 EM weapons instead, my main ship, I can still use those to initiate combat. And then I can still use them to damage things to, what's his name? Hijack the ship.
God. Another point for our side. Die! Die! They're here! Right here! It's starting to interfere with my instruments. This is gonna end badly for you.
Meow, what?
We're done. That's nothing. No! Reloading! Might as well take what we can.
Well, come here. here. Don't just stand there meowing. Come here. Meow. Meow. Come here. Come here, you lazy cat. Oh, what do you want? Huh? What do you want? What do you want? Huh? What do you want? Oh, you're a spoiled cat, you are. You know how to get up here. Oh, what little purple, huh? What? What? Huh? What? What, Zell? Oh, you're a good girl. Oh. Mwah. Mwah, mwah. Oh. Oh yeah, I really want to ride these mechs.
But I'm willing to take a look.
Yeah, fuck other vehicles. If Bethesda do add any vehicles for planetary traversal, we need mechs. Oh, that'd be so cool. Oh. I just remembered the Armored Core game. That is it out already or not yet? I have no idea. I forgot about it. Armored Core, I love Armored Core. My favorite Armored Core is actually, I think, 1 or 2 on PS1.
I have things for you.
Pre-check complete. We're good. Everything looks so pretty up here. We're in orbit.
While we're here, let's swing by Centaurian so I can pick up some ammo.
You should see some
Hey,
of the ships
what can I do
in
for
that
you?
near. Like their own
Sure,
for
have at it.
decorating their with heat leech nests would be a nice touch.
Sure thing. We'll get it fixed up. Good as new.
I have an urgent Star Parcel delivery for you. Forgot about that.
You the courier? I've been expecting you. Star Parcel has your payment right here. Anything else you need?
Well, that's a lot of credits.
Lately I've been getting these rations.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep. Okay.
But I went to the clinic and they said I was...
Captain! Over here. The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Vae Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
You're a clone of a man? How does that work?
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
In a way, you're more like a daughter than anything else. Are there others from your program still out there? Other clones?
I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it.
This Vae Victus must have been an impressive commander for the UC to want to clone him.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
You're not your father. If the cabinet doesn't see that, they're stupid.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Your eyes, they're red. Is that a result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift.
So honestly, what are the risks of us accessing this data?
Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Don't have any questions, no.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go. Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
A lot of floors.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Thanks, don't keep my ship fueled, ma'am.
Captain, that's the president of the colonies.
Vanguard.
Certainly comfortable speaking your mind now, aren't you? Not an unwelcome quality considering the circumstances. Regardless, let's get to business. We have 2 petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Va'ruun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
We need the archival data to find a way to stop a possible Terramorph apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
It wiped out a colony that never saw it coming. That's pretty alarming.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Yes, if the fear is the data being weaponized, the Terramorph program failed. The data's not dangerous.
It doesn't matter if it can be weaponized or not. The archives need to remain sealed for now. There's no reason to rush into a decision of this magnitude.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop!
I already have one, actually, come to think of it.
Now hit him with everything you've got!
Switching to a new target. down.
Good thing I had this, actually. Much better than what they had.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
Sounds like we need to hustle.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
District. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
I need to plug in my headset on power.
Buds. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
You might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
I want you watching our backs.
Roger that. We're on you. Be prepared.
God damn it.
It's got me! It's got me! Where are you?
Help! They're gonna kill us. Please, help!
I'm glad you're handling the messy work.
Yeah, level up.
Target down. Nice work, Captain.
It's over. Thank God. If these things reached the populated areas of
Guess they weren't kidding about you two.
Yeah.
Universe put the right people in the right place.
You all held the line. You're the heroes here, not us.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your home. That is all.
scan any promising leads?
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
You've got the Cabinet's full backing to prevent more attacks. Understand?
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
I take my gratitude in credits, real estate, or luxury goods.
I had some ideas on that front, Captain, but we'll get to that. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Va'ruun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
I can't be your representative. I'm just some Vanguard nobody.
We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather atypical themselves. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. Get you access to those credits and real estate you're after. So, will you help us?
And what do I get for being a UC citizen?
It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door.
You can count on me, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
The next time Terramorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready.
Excuse me. I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
The things we do here, the tech we develop, benefits all of humanity.
Chief Yassine, these orders, a Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
They're the place of all the banned data from the Colony War.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Va'ruun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Va'ruun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Sure doesn't sound easy.
It won't be.
Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Va'ruun?
Radcliffe first, I think.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
If Sam is any example of how stubborn the Freestar people can be, then I can imagine how difficult it must be dealing with this ambassador.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Tell me about these other tools, then.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
That's all the info I need for the moment on Ambassador Radcliffe.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Tell me about Ambassador Balmore of House Va'ruun. You know, Va'ruun sounds very similar to Morrowind.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Va'ruun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Va'ruun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Why? What's wrong with House Va'ruun?
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Va'ruun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Faroon did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
That actually sounds pretty promising.
It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
I'll track him down.
I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind.
Be smart out there, Captain.
Okay?
Hello.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good.
After that business with the Terramorph, it's good to get back to small crimes and petty thieves. Ah, Captain. It's good to see you again, under much calmer circumstances. You wouldn't be here about the job, would you? Might not be worth your time, considering your rank.
Sure am. I saw the sign outside.
You did, huh? Gotta admit, I was against the sign at first. Felt cheesy, you know? Like we're hiring a dishwasher or one of those dancing clowns. But here you are. Can't argue with effectiveness. And if nothing else, New Atlantis security is just that. Effective. When we're fully staffed, that is. But we're not. Long story. And need some help. You interested?
I'm interested.
All right, Captain. Just keep in mind, this isn't going to involve your usual level of excitement. No mind-altering terramorphs and explosions in the spaceport. Just simple, good old-fashioned police work. Your first assignment couldn't be easier. Go to mast and check in with Agent Plato at Aegis. There was a package left at a dead drop, and they need UC security to handle it. He'll fill you in on the details.
Okay.
See you later.
Security in New Atlantis begins with you. Please report any. Suspicious now. Activity.
I'll adjust for the part.
Hello.
I hope you're not here to report something. If you are, it means you've seen far too much. The fewer people there are thinking about Aegis on a daily basis, the easier my job is.
I was asked to pick something up.
They've got you doing grunt work, Captain. Hardly the reward I'd expect for saving the city from a terramorph attack.
I really need the credits.
Interesting. Are you a gambler? Saving for a new home? Or do you have a relative in debt? Actually, don't tell me. It's more fun figuring it out. In any case, let me fill you in. We have a dead drop that we think has been compromised. So I'd like someone from UC Security to handle the pickup instead. Take the package back to Sergeant Yumi, and he'll check it in as evidence before it gets routed back to Aegis.
Just tell me where to pick it up.
Take the Nat to the spaceport. There should be a Galbank ATM right next to the station. The package is taped under one of the benches. Grab it and deliver it to Sergeant Yumi and the job's done. Good luck with the mission.
good girl, aren't you, Zell? You like your neck scratched? Like your chin scratched, do you, Zell? You like your chin scratched?
I don't know if you've heard, but my sister started
How's the investigation going? Still have questions? Go
I've
ahead
got your
and ask.
package.
Good work, Captain. Suffice to say, you were overqualified for this job, but given our staffing problems, I'm still glad you showed up. That being said, my luck seems to be turning around. We've gotten a lot of new personnel as of late, not just you. Who knew all I had to do was put up a sign?
I wouldn't make a habit of recruiting people off the street.
Well, I have you now, so I probably won't hire another person for a while. Anyway, here's your payment. And if I have any more work for you, I'll let you know.
$89,000 again.
Keep moving, right through the checkpoint.
Looks white. Why is this white?
Anything you need to offload? Trade Authority is always buying. Kiosk right here for you.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep Okay.
I asked my boss what they're doing to stop you. Can we run through it one more time?
Can you imagine how many credits flow through this place? Figuratively, of course. It's a shame House Varun abandoned their embassy. I bet we could have learned a lot from one another.
Exactly. It's like
When someone...
Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Collective, and it seems like only yesterday.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
Terramorphs? As in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
You're allowed 3
I'm
places.
sorry. Do you have an appointment?
Or the ambassador's office. You set foot anywhere else, there's going to be problems.
Captain Shadowlancer, UC Vanguard. You and I need to talk, Ambassador.
Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants Terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
Nope, they sent me to beg. Please, please, pretty please, please.
Oh, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours and go?
Please, Ambassador, just listen to what I have to say.
You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood.
Take them, Ambassador. Just hear me out.
I'm listening.
The UC might have done wrong in the past, but it's been nearly 20 years since the colony war.
I suppose I have seen some promising actions by this current administration.
The Terramorph Xenoweapons project was a failure. That knowledge is not dangerous.
You know that for sure. That is interesting. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once, you get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement?
Agreed.
Excellent. Follow me. They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. Two unlikely allies, I guess.
This isn't what I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy. I've never seen a tree like this before in my entire life. It'd actually be more fascinating if its branches weren't blocking our way. Is that you? I don't stock up on junk. If you're searching them, make it quick.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge, and then... silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly?
Did you say that thing pouring out clouds upstairs is called a venom tree? Is it poisonous?
Harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the intercoms to restore the environmental controls. And release me. It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. But I must know of the rest of the city. Does it still stand?
The spaceport is rough shape, but not much else was damaged.
Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door? And the broadcast spoke of terrormorphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terrormorphs, presumably, Do I see this all clearly?
Correct. We're going to use the data in the archives to better understand and stop these attacks.
The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Va'ruun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy. With little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Oh, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
You have my word. I will make sure it's used for good.
As the chair of Constellation, I take personal responsibility in vouching for this woman's integrity. She'll keep her word.
Well then, I shall not fear. Please, follow me.
Who's my little precious kitty cat? Oh, I see why so precious. Mwah. Cuddly and fluffy. Mwah.
Let's hope it still works.
All that junk you're hauling is seriously slowing you down.
There. Let it be used for good.
Time to get back to the world, eh?
I need to do this as well. Next level up.
might be interested in.
Submit your application now at the nearest.
I'm listening. I'd be happy to get... Bye for now.
Captain, you're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? We're all in agreement.
Balmore's alive, thanks to yours truly. And yes, I got his code.
You saved him. You Vanguard really do take that above and beyond thing seriously, don't you? Fine work. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
We've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules. Welcome, Captain, to the Archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Pardon?
There you are.
Captain, Deputy told me what went down. Impressive work.
Captain, if you'd be willing to transfer the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing what comes next.
Time for us to start getting some real answers, and figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready.
I made a promise to someone, Hadrian. Can you assure me this data will be used for good?
Yes. It will be. Percival and I have done our damage. This is us starting to put some things right. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
Howdy.
There's my ship down there. Right there.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies?
This doesn't mean I can't be a citizen elsewhere, does it?
It doesn't. We don't really care where else you might have been or might become a citizen. Once you earn your place in the United Colonies, it's yours.
I'm ready.
Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen?
Sure, whatever.
Good enough, I suppose. Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property. Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name. So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms?
I barely have anyone to tell.
Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
Oh, a lot of credits. 117,000. I kind of want to keep saving my credit so I can get a phalanx. I could probably make my own phalanx, actually.
Saw your ship come in. Nice ride.
Subsection 7. Ooh, sounds fancy.
I've lived in New Atlantis almost my entire life, and I had no idea this place even existed. The UC certainly excels at keeping secrets.
Logging authorized entry, unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
I'll be fine. You go on ahead.
Ow.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat.
Oh, I wasn't expecting a prisoner.
President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am?
A guy who couldn't afford a place with a view, clearly.
No, I suppose not. I'm Francois Sanon, but most know me as Vivictus. I was an admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes, but the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here. A sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies.
Sanon, that's Hadrian's last name.
Very astute. That's my daughter. My progeny. You've been working alongside. Has she shared with you the nature of our little family?
She told me she's your clone, yes?
Did she? So willing to trust Hadrian. I never did succeed in driving that out of her. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do.
Not every day I get the chance to work with a man living in a fish tank. Keep talking.
After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the Colony War. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with.
Go on.
There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colony's more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the colony war ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know.
How about I arrest him and turn him over to the UC?
You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it.
Why have me do this? Why not hand this over to one of the members of this recovery team?
Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this might be something of a tryout.
I'm not killing anyone, but if he's actually as bad as you claim, I'll consider bringing him to justice.
If that's what you require to sleep at night, so be it. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria, Wolf System. There is a star station in the vicinity, the Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
Yeah, what is it? Sounds good. Lead on. Can I help? Okay. I have things for you.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy.
There's an executed war criminal in your basement.
Captain, please, keep your voice down.
The situation with the prisoner is a complex one. A holdover from a different era.
But it's a situation we've been managing as discreetly and humanely as we can for some time now. And the most critical part of that management is making sure no one else learns of it. Do I make myself clear?
Why hasn't Hadrian been told about this?
The Major doesn't have clearance for this sort of information, and she certainly doesn't need a distraction from her current, very important work. Which is why I need you to keep this to yourself.
You can't keep me from telling Hadrian.
Short of jailing you? No, you're right. But in this moment, I think it would be a big mistake to tell her. Though I presume he didn't call you down there simply to discuss his daughter.
The prisoner asked me to deal with a Dr. Orlace. Figured you and I should discuss.
Dr. Reginald Orlace? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlace is completely out of the question. But bringing him to justice... He's been on the lam for years. That'd be a huge win for the UC.
What's being offered in return?
The location of Hadrian's old research team members.
Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting?
I'm supposed to head to the den. Anything you can tell me about it?
The Den? It's a star station. Orbiting Wolf, the second star station actually to bear that title. The first one was blown to smithereens by House Varun during the Serpent's Crusade.
The place has always acted as a remote strategic hub, primarily for repairing and refueling UC military vessels.
But because of its distance from the rest of the UC, things there have always been a little more lax. Patrols included. I can think of worse places in the galaxy for a criminal to hide out.
What are the chances of being lured into a trap?
Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake. But I don't think you need to be too concerned. This is far from the first name he's handed over, and all previous missions went off largely without a hitch.
So while I'd certainly warrant caution, I think you can proceed.
Nope, nothing else.
Then I'll bid you good day, Captain. And remind you of the importance of discretion.
Yes? What?
Hi.
Back to the ship.
Got anything on your scanner?
something for you when you have a moment.
Something for you when you have a moment. What can I help you with? I certainly do. It's all yours. So long.
Yeah, that's the end of that video. Of course my game crashes.